Hello, hello, hello to everybody in class 5AN at Forest Sandle Manor School and to your fantastic, wonderful, brilliant teacher, Miss North. My name is Alistair Humphreys and I am an adventurer and an author. And I'm the guy who wrote The Girl Who Rode the Ocean, which you lot have been reading at school. You've had my boring writing inflicted on you. Luckily, you've been very polite and written me some very nice letters telling me that you actually enjoyed the book. So that's fantastic news. And I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with all these letters. I've got loads and loads of them. Violet, good one. Violet, Hugo, Beta, sorry if I got your name wrong. Beata. It's a nice letter, and I apologize that I can't pronounce your name. I only go for Beata. Anyway, very nice letter, thank you. And Oliver, and lots of cool letters, and some of them have got questions in as well. So I thought what I'd do is answer some of the questions in your letters. So first up is from Polly saying, did you see lots of things like whales and dolphins? Yeah, that, Polly, is one of the best things about being out in the sea. We saw lots of dolphins, we saw whale once or twice. We also, I mentioned them in the book, these little jellyfish called sail by the wind jellyfish. They're really small. They're only about that big with a little sort of sail cupped up behind them and they drift across the ocean. So I love seeing little things like that. Sometimes you'd see drifting bits of rubbish, plastic, stuff like that. And underneath it, often there was seaweed starting to grow down. And under there, there'd be little fish and little creatures on it. So whole little worlds starting to gather around things in the middle of the ocean. Most of the wildlife you see, these sort of birds and things, is actually nearer the coast. It's out in the middle of the sea where it's mega deep. We didn't tend to see so much. Are you going to write any more adventures? If so, are you going on any more adventures? If so, will you write more books? Well, I'm not going on any big adventures like ocean rowing for a while, but I'm still writing books. And actually, my new book that I'm writing now is about the smallest bit of adventuring I've ever done. It's about trying to encourage everyone to find 15 minutes of nature. What can you find within 15 minutes of where you live? Or what activity can you do in 15 minutes? Climb a tree, something like that, just to get a little burst of outdoors, nature, fresh air every single day. Braden asks, Braden says, I really like how you included Hammy the hamster in the book. Yep, that is Jack's famous hamster. You asked me, how did I shower when I was cycling around the world? Well, the honest answer is I didn't shower very much, so I was pretty smelly. Whenever I got to a big city or had a break, I'd have a shower. But in between that, I would just either swim in a river or a lake, quite often wearing all my clothes, so I'd get my clothes washed as well. And quite often I'd just be very smelly. What inspired you to write your very own story? What inspired me to start writing books was that I love reading books. See here in my shed where I work, I've got loads and loads of books. And it was reading all these stories of other people who'd done adventures, really enjoying reading, that encouraged me to want to have my own adventures. And then the next stage was encouraging me to want to start to write my books. And now one of the reasons I write my books is because it's my job. And if I didn't do this for a job, then I'd have to have a proper job, like being a teacher. And being a teacher is much harder work than being a lazy writer sitting in my shed drinking coffee out of dirty coffee mugs. But I do like writing as well. Jacob says, oh, you've got a lot of good fonts in the book. Oh, I'm glad you like the fonts. So in here, in this book, there is a handwritten font, isn't there, from Lucy's entries. And interesting fact about that font, the name of that font is Atlantic Lucy, because it is actually Lucy's real life handwriting turned into a font. It's very easy. If you Google online how to make your own font, it's quite easy to do. And so Lucy's own handwriting has become this font, and you can even use that font yourself to write your own things. Jacob says, I think it's an amazing book because it doesn't have too much build-up, which can sometimes be boring. Well, I agree with you, Jacob. And also, I find as a writer, I find it really, really, really hard not to do too much build-up. I'm writing another children's book at the moment about Tom and Lucy going on an adventure together, canoeing across America. And as I was reading back over it and editing it, I realized that I've written pages and pages and pages and pages of stuff about them getting ready for the adventure. And it's all kind of boring. So what I've done now is just got all that and deleted it all, and let's just get on with the adventure. So yeah, the build up, it's very tempting to write, but you're right, it's boring. You just want to jump into the action. Good advice for you for your next story writing. Robert, like the book, I think that made the book even better, making the book cover with Izzy a little bit bigger. Interesting. Thanks, Robert. That's a design feedback about making Izzy a bit bigger on the front cover. Yeah, I like that. Good advice. This book, by the way, is my favorite book cover design that I've had so far. It's the artist does a lot of Michael Morpurgo's books. Michael Morpurgo's really famous. So I thought there's no way he'd do my book cover, but I sent him an email and he agreed to do mine. So I was really pleased by that. My favorite thing about this book, by the way, I don't know if you notice it, is if on the bottom, if you flick through the pages like this, let me see if I can do this near to the camera. I can do this. Look, can you see there? The rowing boat rowing across the ocean. Isn't that cool? Flip book effect. That's my favorite thing about the whole book. The picture on the front cover and the flip book. The words are boring. I like the pictures. Tom K. I feel your pain, Tom K. You say it's quite a long book with 268 pages. I agree, Tom. And you know what? If I had a chance to go over this book, I would probably try to cut out 100 pages from it and make it shorter and tighter, for sure. Sorry about that. Hetty says, Hetty has decided to start a challenge of your own over the holidays. You're going to try and learn to surf even better than I can now. Fantastic. That is brilliant. Good. I'm so glad it's encouraged you to go over adventures of your own. That's the whole point of my books, really, is to encourage you, the reader, to go out there and do fun stuff. Hetty says, I think this is a really good book, even though we've had to do some hard work on it. They are fantastic questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. Really nice writing and good grammar and punctuation and all those important things. Most of all, though, I hope that you enjoyed reading the book, that it might encourage you to read other books, but above all else, to plan your own adventures. So good luck with your adventures, whatever they may be. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Do you want to end stream? Your stream will stop immediately. Yes, I do want to stop. I guess I'm going to have to say goodbye again. Bye.